Well, it's the pure build out is something that we have never seen before outside of prior bubbles. So just for reference, we have 50 gigawatts of power in the U.S. that's supplying the AI data centers right now, and we're going to double or triple it in the next 5 years.
Wow.
It will consume somewhere between 13 and 15% of the nation's energy.
How much?
13 to 15% of the nation's power.
And what does that do to the electricity bill? One asks.
You know, Satya said the other day on a podcast that they have the chips, but they don't have the power. Right now, we're seeing in areas like Northern Virginia, where there are a lot of data centers, retail prices for electricity go up. So that's something I think we'll see a backlash from consumers when they realize that they're competing with a data center that's consuming its power, but has nothing to do with the local area.
And that kind of goes to the issue, that power issue, Brad, has been one of the key issues, because a lot of these folks that are these hyperscalers that are funding some of this construction of some of these data centers are saying, we're going to have our own electricity, our own power. And you're talking about maybe modular nuclear power. I don't know where it's going to come from. But that seems to be the gating issue at this point.
Right. And there's a backlog for combined cycle gas turbines. Obviously, small modular reactors are something that's dreamed of. But right now, gas is the constraint. And then hook into the grid, which is, I think, going to be the constraining factor.
You are drawing a line between what you're saying this bubble is, this AI data center bubble, back to, I wouldn't have guessed it, the UK railway mania of the 1840s. None of us here in this room, not even Paul, remembers that.
Me.
But connect those dots for us.
Well, the interesting analogy is that was a huge expenditure. So the UK in 1843 had 2,000 miles of track, and they approved 9,000 miles of track to be built in 5 years. So a quadrupling of the rail network. And what is similar, I think, to today is that it may be rational for every single management team or operator of a rail line to actually put the line in. But collectively, it was madness because there were lines cannibalizing each other's traffic. And the source of the implosion of that was this. Costs were 50% higher. Revenues were 40% less than were modeled. I think the AI build out is more dangerous because the business models are in such flux. Back then, we knew that you could carry freight and paying passengers, and there would be a tariff.
Some sort of revenue stream, right?
The estimates were wrong, but I think that's what we will see is, do we need 7 to 10 large language foundational models? I mean, there will come a time when the competition becomes ruthless.
Which then, so if you overbuild and you're just left with all these data centers, how do you roll that back, if at all?
Okay. In the case of the UK in the 1840s, it turned out to be an investment that didn't pay off for the investors, but it did pay off for society.
Right.
Because within the next 25 to 50 years, that track was used. Why? Because the track is made of iron. Today, we are putting mostly chips, silicon, into these data centers that have a lifespan of perhaps 4 years. And they are degrading in terms of their competitive ability because NVIDIA is introducing a new generation every year.
And they're almost outdated the minute they come out.
Exactly. They start depreciating very fast. So the answer to your question about what do we do with all of this surplus capacity is, I think debt holders are going to eat it.